probably some other guys from the league that nobody cares about.
Welcome back, hockey fans. It is time for the Week 2 preview of the Fall 2016 season. I am Pete R. With me, as always, is Jerks S14.
Love it.
Hashtag Conco Sucks.
Oh my god, I love this show.
And our guest, once again, is Pete Cheddar Mark Skidmore.
Hey, Cheddar Mark?
Cheddar Mark. And Gaffin.
Yeah, that threw me off. It's Cheddar Bob.
Cheddar Bob?
Yeah.
No, Bob's at home. Dad Bob.
Cheddar Mark?
Yeah, Cheddar Mark.
What the fuck? Did you watch a bootleg 7 Mile? Was that the movie that you watched?
What do you guys watch? All right, so we're going to be looking at the Week 2 games. We're going to be talking about the picks. We're going to do our pick'ems. We're going to check the pick'ems. But first, let's look at the Week 2 games. Jerks, who the heck is playing this week?
6:30, we got the Gremlins in white at Psych Off in Carolina Blue. 7:30, we have the Sharknadoes in white versus Evil Dead, and I guess whatever the fuck color they want to wear, red or black, it doesn't really matter. 8:30, we have the Blackulas in white versus the Zombies, I think, in regular red.
Slightly darker red.
Slightly darker red. Heavy flow red. And the nightcap, we have Bigfoot in white versus the Foot Clan in navy blue.
Well, let's get to the pick'ems. So we had, it was actually a pretty tight week last week. Only one guy went better than 50%, and that was Matt Ferngully. He went 3 for 4, so he's sitting at 75%, and then a lot of guys are at 2 and 4. You got Pete R., the Bob, Cannonball Kurt, hashtag Congo Sucks, John Scotterden, Foes, and our guest went 2 for 4, and then bringing up the rear.
Woo!
Got him right where he wants him. 1 and 4, Jerks S14. How do you feel back there?
I mean, I was really confident on the 4 picks, and I got 1 right in overtime.
Well, hey, congratulations. It's a nice look. So we got 2 guests this week, so they're going to kind of combine in there, see if they can battle with the rest of the COG. COJ?
COG? Cog. The Cog.
The COG. The COJ.
Circle of Jerks.
Jerkin the Gherkin.
The Circle of Jerk Committee. So let's get to the first game. So we have the Gremlins against Psych Off. Psych Off has really been impressing people. A lot of people picked them in the 8th place. Going against the Gremlins, who won it out in overtime against a team that didn't have their number 2, Mike Verlano, last week. As far as I'm concerned, to me, I'm going to go with Psych Off in this game. And the reason being, after watching them play last week, their passing is incredible. I think Gremlins' offense will be able to keep pace this week, and if Ramsey does not have a good night, I see them winning. But the passing is going to be there. I know Zach is moving the puck around well with his team. I think their defense is a little bit better, and I think they're going to break down the Gremlins' offense. And word on the street is Tim Scott will not be there. Does anyone know?
No, he's probably not going to be there.
He's probably not.
Last
Rated LCL.
Last I heard was questionable, but I'm assuming out.
All right. So there'll be a sub for that team. So ultimately, I see Psych Off just having their way with the Gremlins, moving them around, slowing their game down, and I think they have the defense to really compete to take this game. So I'm going to go with Psych Off. Let's go with one of our guests, the guy with the great name, Pete. Who do you have to win this game?
Let's see. This is also going to be my game of the week.
Game of the week?
Yeah, because I think both these teams are just going to be ridiculous. Because Psych they really looked like they were starting to mesh a lot better later in their first game, and playing against the Gremlins yesterday, like holy crap, they are a force to be reckoned with. So it's almost a toss-up, but I have to give it to the Gremlins because I feel like Psych Off still has a little bit of cohesion to work on.
A little bit of cohesion to work on. All right, Jerks, what do you think between Psych Off and Gremlins? Is defense going to be the big play? What's the difference for the winners?
I'm going to go Gremlins because I'm spiteful.
Going with the spiteful attack again.
Like I said, I feel like now that the Gremlins have a game under their belt, they got the W, squeaked by last week, but they have that chemistry. They kind of have an idea of how everybody on their team plays and plays together. With a goalie sub, the week that we saw Tim Scott, he didn't play that great against the Foot Clan. I mean, granted, his whole team wasn't there, but I feel like with a sub, depending on who it is, that I don't know that it's necessarily going to affect him as much as it should. Like I said, Ramsey's been playing incredible the past 2 games. I don't know that he can play at that level continuously. I feel like he's going to see a drop in save percentage this week, and I see the Gremlins capitalizing on that.
Capitalizing on that play. All right. So let's head it over to hashtag Conco Sucks. We haven't heard from you. We were just talking about the goalies. Ramsey's been playing really well. So is he going to be the reason that Sykoff either wins or loses?
He's going to be one of the major factors in it, obviously. I'm picking this in my game of the week too.
Wow.
And I'm picking Sykoff.
Okay.
Just narrowly. The reason being is that I think the defense of Sykoff can negate the high-scoring offense of the Gremlins. And I think that John's going to see a lot more high-quality shots than he did in the other game that are going to get through, and it's going to be a really tough test for him. But I still think that his team is going to be able to overcome it, and especially with Zach and Tim Anderson, and I think that they're going to be able to provide a pretty good amount of offense on whoever the subbing goalie is.
All right, so that's another for Sykoff. So just to go down the picks right now before we jump over to Gaffe, you got Pete R. the Bob and hashtag Conco Sucks going with Sykoff, Jer Bear, Cannonball Kurtz, Scotterden, Fern Gully, Foes, all going to Gremlins, as well as our guest Pete. Gaffe, who do you think is going to win this? I mean, we got a heavy favor, the Gremlins right now.
I'm going to also favor the Gremlins as well. I think, like what Conco said, Ramsey's going to see a lot higher quality shots from the Gremlins, and I think, their top 3 players on the Gremlins can all, produce quality shots compared to, maybe 1 or 2 people over at the psychedelic side. So I think just based on shot quality alone, I'm going to have to pick the Gremlins, and it might come down to the role players on each team to see, who will eat this out, but just a slight edge to the Gremlins for this game for me. And the thing for me, I want to see a little more of Jake, because I heard Jake's supposed to be pretty good, and last week he had on the stat sheet didn't really have too much, but you really expect him to pick it up.
It's kind of close to his bedtime though.
So a lot of people have been saying the high-powered offense of the Gremlins, Now I know that this was the first week of all of them playing together, but they seem to have chemistry in week 1. And looking at the stat sheet from last week, they only won 11-10 against a team that only had 4 guys, and on top of that, they're going against Alex, who only had an 80% save percentage. So if Ramsey has an 80% save percentage, which is a night that he can do, it seems like a landslide, everyone's saying, for Gremlins, but, Sykoff has, they're right there. We're talking about a high-powered offense, but they only had 11 goals last week.
Yeah, and I feel like, Jake is, since he's a rookie, he's just getting used to how small the floor is and stuff like that. But he's played before, and I think he's going to step it up at least for this game.
Yeah, don't underestimate Steve and Jake. Yeah, like every time I was right in front of their goalie, like no matter what, they were both there. Either one of them.
Right. So is the Gremlins offense going to be that good?
I think Ramsey's gonna pull it out. No, he's gonna whip it out.
I don't know. I like it's Gremlins for me is just that big toss up. I don't know. They're 50-50 to me. I love the offense side of things, but their defense side is it's something that they have to work on. Sykoff just seems like a more complete team. It's going to be a good game. I think regardless, if we have a strong defensive battle and a great goaltending battle, it could go Sykoff's way. But yeah, we got a lot of picks to the Gremlins. So any other points on this game? No, it doesn't look like it. All right, let's go to the 7:30 game. So 7:30 is a game that I'm in, so I will talk last. We got the Sharknadoes against the Evil Dead. So let's pass it over to Jared. Jared, what do you think of the Sharknadoes and Evil Dead with Paul in the lineup?
I'm gonna go Evil Dead over Sharknadoes at this point. I feel
and Kenton will be subbing for Steve.
Kenton subbing for Steve. the Sharknadoes are an offensive team. I mean, they like to pull out the stops and play a heavy offensive game. I feel like on the Evil Dead side, that long shot, I feel is going to get through. It's going to go in. I mean, you're probably going to see 6 or 7 from Paul from deep. I mean, outside of that, he's got players that are going to try to crash the net and clean up in front. And I mean, like I said, I just feel like they're going to put up numbers. I don't think it's going to be a landslide. I feel like Sharknadoes have the offense to keep it close. But I'm giving Evil Dead the edge in this one.
Evil Dead, the edge. All right. Let's move it down the line to Pete. What do you think of these two teams?
I think both teams are great teams. However, I think this is going to come down to who's the better goalie, and I think Seabrook's the better goalie.
Okay.
So that's why I've got Evil Dead.
You've got Evil Dead. So simply because of goaltending.
Yep.
Are you talking like a single-digit game?
I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be like a 10-9 game.
All right. So if someone's getting to the double digits, you see that.
Yeah.
Happening. All right.
If it weren't for game 1 being my pick of the week, this would be my pick of the week.
All right. Well, let's pass it down to Conco. Conco, what do you think of this matchup?
Sharknadoes. Because even though, Steve's not in net, I think that the way that he plays against the long shot where he comes out of that and cuts down that angle, that's his strength as a goalie. But if you make a move side to side, which the Evil Dead isn't really built for, that's how you beat him. So with that being said, I think that the Sharknadoes are going to be able to frustrate Paul a lot and force him to, pass the puck off and, to other less skilled players. I mean, no offense, but it's
like
Paul,
who?
like Kevin.
He did score that goal on you. Don't forget that. He wasn't even looking and he scored.
It was so late. But I think, Evil Dead's more of a defensive team, but I just don't see them being able to keep up with the fast-paced offense of the Sharknadoes. I mean, Pete, Sweetmeat, Kevin, they just buzz around the entire time. And then you got John back there on D, who knows how to play ball and everything.
Shitting his pants.
yeah, John might have the same thing.
I think it's just going to be too much. And
we're going against Brett.
Yeah, I understand that.
90% first week.
I understand that, but I mean, you got Gianni shooting on you, so.
All right. So that's another for the Sharknadoes. Let's pass it over to Gaffey.
Yeah, and I'm going to pick the Sharknadoes as well. And I feel like after playing the Evil Dead last week on the floor, Paul's not going to have that one person to put a nets on the back to kind of stop. You guys have some pretty, probably have like 3 or 4 people that can score, put up big numbers. And
Who's the one that can't?
not gonna give any names, but he routinely bowls bowling balls, but I'm not sure what it is. Hey
He's
Kurt, I
gonna
love
score
you, by the way.
15 this
Love
week.
you, Kurt. But yeah, I mean, just looking at the Sharknadoes lineup, I didn't actually see you guys play last week, but just looking at your lineup and looking at the stat line last week, you guys can put up numbers.
That's why we have you on the podcast.
Yeah, it was just like last week. We had Alex on the podcast last week. He's like, I didn't even see you play, but. So that's another for Sharknadoes. The Bob is going Sharknadoes. We got Jer Barrett, Evil Dead. Cannonball Kurt is going his team. Hashtag Conco sucks Sharknadoes. But then you have John, Fern Gully. Pete's going. Pete, our guest, is going Evil Dead, and then we have Foes and Gaffey going Sharknadoes. So we're right down the line. I don't normally pick my team, but then I think about what would Paul do in this situation? Paul's going to pick his team. I'm in the same boat here. I think going head-to-head against Paul, we both would pick our teams. I'm going Sharknadoes here. I'm glad to have Kurt back because we're going to need him for the endurance. We need to stop Paul. If we don't stop Paul, if Paul has a 7 to 8 point night, this game can get out of hand real quick. But we need to slow down Paul. And it's going to be a good game. I'm excited to play against Amanda as well. So I'm excited to play against Amanda. Steve is always one of the best defensive players in the league. So he's going to be there frustrating us all night. But Kevin, Matt's got great shots. So if we're not blocking shots like we were last week, we're going to have a difficult game. I think this is going to be a really tight game, similar to the way it was last week. It's going to be a physical battle. We need to move the puck around, and We had a lot of success last week moving the puck around, getting a lot of assists. But everyone knows Paul's one of the best guys to block passes in the center. So if we're not getting those opportunities to beat Brett, which you really can't beat him on an open shot very much, it's going to be tough for us to get the win in this game. But I got to go with my team. I feel very confident after week 1. But it's going to be a battle. It looks like a 50-50 pick across the board between Sharknadoes and Evil Dead. So it's my game of the week as well. Any other thoughts on this game, guys?
Is it your game of the week because it's actually your game?
Yeah. Because I only show up for games of the week, so that's why I'm going to play them. Yeah. All right, so that is the 7:30 matchup. Paul's going to show up early, which is exciting. And then the 8:30 game. 8:30 game, we have, I was just about to say Psych-Off, but that's not right. It's Blackulas in white.
White.
Against the Zombies in Heavy Flow Red.
Heavy Flow Red, yeah.
Heavy Flow Red. So we have, once Gianni's going against another blasting player of Mike Ryan. I mean, just first 2 weeks, man, you're just going to get blasted left and right, Conco. I mean,
I know, I already took a shot to the face in lacrosse.
Jesus.
Not looking forward to it.
What kind of shot is this?
Jesus.
So
I don't think I was there.
So I'm going with this game. To me is the Zombies. As long as Furlano's there, I wasn't impressed with Blackulas last week. They seemed slow. They seemed there was just no chemistry there. They weren't moving the puck around well. If they can't figure out that chemistry and do anything but the long bomb, it's not going to work. I don't think the long bomb is going to work this year simply because the pads are going to be bouncing off. You're going to see a lot more transition plays, and they need to figure out something to get the puck down low, get those garbage goals, and they have the players to do it. Daffy, you have Strachan. I mean, Strachan didn't have a goal last week, so we couldn't do all of our nicknames, which really bums me out.
He just couldn't strack it down.
And that's the reason why we want you to do well, Strack. But Zombies really impressed me. No Furlano last week took a Gremlins team that a lot of people are picking in game 1 without a Mike Furlano. So with him in the lineup, I think they're just going to be that much stronger. So I'm going to go with the Zombies in this game over the Blackulas. Jer Bear, what do you think of this game?
I mean, the Zombies, you're looking at the roster there, and they got a lot of hustle players. You know, the Juice is all over the place. You know, he's putting up numbers. He's getting acclimated to the gym. You know, Pete's getting more 2 goals. You know, you got Chris mascarpone cheese.
I love that cheese.
3 assists there. You know, he's looking. You know, he was really good in his rookie season last. He broke out and had big goal nights. You know, he's always due for one of those. Mike Furlano, a lot of hustle. He puts away goals, and then you got that laser blast from Mike Bryant. You know, they're gonna put up big numbers. They're gonna be a good team offensively. With that being said, though, I'm still going Blackula.
What is wrong with you?
What's my debater, by the way?
Oh
You
my
guys
God,
are
that was
awesome,
so
but I'm not
cheap,
picking
dude.
you.
Zombies are so good, but Blackulas, I'm going. He does the element of surprise. So speaking of the element of surprise, talk to me about shooting yourself in the leg.
It never happened.
Oh, okay.
Closer to the truth, I actually
This
got
is
shot.
your chance to explain yourself.
You gotcha. Is this like how you wanted to shoot Conco in the butt?
And he ended up
Sort of.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah, do we want to talk about this right now?
We can. I'm cool with it. I don't mind. It's not like...
It'll be the rebuttal.
PTSD or
We'll talk about it in a little bit. So tell me about this game.
This game. Well, we're going to win.
Oh.
Yeah, that's just how it's going to happen.
Oh, I didn't know you were playing this.
Yeah, I forgot to.
I'm just kidding. He's
Just
I know.
by how much depends on the attack from the Strack. You know, is he going to Strack it down, or is he going to just not be there like he was last week?
Oh shit!
So,
Are you saying that you're gonna hold him scoreless?
I'm not saying I'm going to hold him scoreless, or that anybody or that we're going to hold him scoreless rather, but I think it comes down to whether he brings the game that he's known for, or if he brings the game that we saw from him
Last
in
season?
week 1.
Woo. Those are fighting words. I'm excited. Should be a good week. So, going to the other side of the floor, let's hand it over to Gaffy. Gaffy looks really excited to talk about this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited because I won't be there. You know, I'm gonna have to go with the Zombies, unfortunately, mainly because I'm not gonna be there, and you know, we're not there. We're not gonna win.
Gianni's not usually there either.
I mean, we're gonna have to do a lot with me not being there, and Strat's got to score. I mean, you had a couple of close calls last week. Bill got injured towards the third period yesterday as well, and I just hope his
had a
ankle is
sibling in
better.
the stands.
Oh,
Oh
is that kind
yeah.
of like Congo's girlfriend? That's
More platonic, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Bill's got to come back. Maybe I don't know how his ankle is going to feel this week, but we need a big week from Bill, a big week from John, and some goal scoring with Brad. So and Gianni's just got to step it up, take more shots. But I feel like that's the only way for us to really win the game. I feel like the zombies that we're playing.
Yeah.
They, just looking at them on paper, they're just,
White.
yeah, they can score. Just looking at them.
Bunch of white
A bunch of white guys, Chris, Mark Scapone Cheese looks like a dad. I was mentioning that to
What?
he looks like a dad. Doesn't he look like a
I
dad?
don't know.
I think he looks like a dad.
Well, congratulations.
But yeah, we're gonna have to put up some big numbers next week to win the game. So.
Oh, speaking of people in the stands, who was the person that always did well when they had a girl in the stands?
Patsy.
Oh, don't call me
yeah.
Patrick! Oh, he's listening to the podcast. He's probably listening right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Florida.
in live.
In Kurt's closet.
And he actually comes back for the podcast. All right, so we have zombies going to PR, the Bob, Cannonball Kurt, John Scotterton, both of our guests, and we have two Blackulas right now with Fern Gully and Foes. Conco.
I picked the Blackulas.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my mouse was hovering over it. Jerry, you're not even going to remember next week.
Oh,
It's true. Conco, who are you picking?
Zombies.
You gonna let it roll
Is
or?
it because?
What is it? Cousin Black?
No, no, I meant because I was like leading you up to hashtag Gianni sucks.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean that's just
Thank you.
Yeah, everybody knows that. Yeah, I don't really see Gianni doing much of anything. You got Mike Squared back there. You're gonna be putting out a lot of pressure.
Mike Squared.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Mike times Mike.
Mike and Mike in the evening.
Michael Joe or?
I mean, I think we could get some good shots on Alex, but it's gonna be really tough. And for Olanos, he's just a pain in the ass to play against. Even though all Toronto sports suck. Just around that ankle. Bill's gonna be on a bum ankle.
This guy's just shitting on entire cities.
I mean, Brad's he's a little bit leaner. He's got the sugarless titties now instead of the sharp tits.
It really looks good.
He's got a lot of energy, but
Definitely faster.
I think it's gonna take him a little bit to warm up to this new endurance that he has, and I just don't see us winning. I just don't.
It sounds like you're not even giving yourself a chance to win the game.
I want to see.
Are you just gonna lay? Are you gonna like just take shots to the winds like Bill?
Like Bill? Nah. No.
I'm just gonna show up and
Yeah.
yell at Gianni the entire time.
It's my plan. It's my plan for the entire season.
I hope it's not. I don't want it to be a blowout. Gianni was so excited about his team to start, and then
I know, isn't it awesome? He's so disappointed then?
Yeah,
1 week.
That's all it took.
Oh my god. He just I feel like it's gonna be against my team because he's just gonna come out and then he's gonna score 15 goals against my team just so I can talk about it on the podcast about how great he actually is.
And then that's gonna be it for the entire season.
he's gonna have 17 goals. So that's Zombies versus Blackulas. Pretty heavy favorites to Zombies. I hope it's a better game than a lot of us think it is. Without gapping the lineup, it's going to be tough. So that's the 8:30 matchup. Let's get to the 9:30 game. We have Bigfoot versus Foot Clan. Now, it's going to be a big surprise who Jeremy picks tonight. So we're going to leave him to the end. So we have Bigfoot and Foot Clan. Pete, what do you think of this game? We have Bigfoot who had a rough first week. Foot Clan just missed out on a win. A lot of people had them picked for the favorites. Are they going to be able to bounce back this week?
I think it's going to come down to which foot stinks less.
Oh.
And
Which one smells like Doritos or?
Dude, Doritos are
Which one has
delicious.
less toe jam?
It's an actor.
And I think that the Bigfoot is going to be a little better groomed. You know, because I just picture a Sasquatch out there picking at his toes all
We
the
can
time,
make that
cleaning
happen.
his feet up. And then the Foot Clan, you know, they're always like karate
scratch
chopping people and kicking people in the face, getting them all bloody and stinky. So that's why.
Wow.
That's my scientific.
Scientific. Hey,
Deduction of why.
hockey sense does not matter here. It is all about being scientific. So we got the Bigfoot for Pete Skidmore. Now, Gaffey, we have this game, once again, we have Foot Clan, really high endurance, high intensity. Bigfoot didn't have so much intensity last week, or just failed to capitalize on opportunities. Are they going to get the opportunities this week?
Yeah, you know, Bigfoot's got to, move a little faster, a little bit,
Hey, this is audio. They don't.
We can see your arm.
They can't see you.
I'm just kind of moving slowly over here, guys, in case you don't know what I'm doing here.
He looks like he's jerking off two dudes.
While pedaling a bike.
With that big Gaffey smile on.
I'm so happy.
Oh,
He was like the music man from Mary Poppins, but of gay porn.
We just need some German techno in here.
Oh my god. And this is why you want to be on the podcast,
Exactly.
folks.
I'm gonna have to say Foot Clan will probably win it. I mean, you're clearly the faster team. Just subbing in with them last week, you're a lot faster. They can definitely score. Just looking at the score sheet from last week. And Bigfoot's gotta, Austin's gotta step it up. And like you guys said, not every week he's gonna just score one. You probably score a lot more as the season goes along. But the big thing I want Bigfoot to do is don't get down on yourselves. Once you guys are down, keep playing the game. You guys have a full game still ahead of you. You guys are not out of it.
You play to win the game.
Play to win the game, and you guys cannot get down on yourselves even though you guys are down. So play some defense. You guys can score clearly on paper. You guys can score. So I expect this to be another high-scoring game because the Foot Clan, they did give up a lot of goals the last couple of weeks. So you guys have a chance. So I'm going to give a slight edge to the Foot Clan for to win.
Good point. 13 goals and then 16 goals in the 2 games they played. Granted, you have an opportunity right there. Maybe Bill's not playing up to par, or maybe this is the week that he stands out. Kako, do you think, could this be the week that he gets up to his 85-90% wins of the past?
Yeah, I think so. But, more importantly, if you have a foot fetish, this is your game of the week.
We call
And
it
also because I heard that Ben Cuddle was telling Kyle Sherman that he was going to score like 8 goals on him. So I think it's really going to
Kyle
see.
Sherman?
Ben Cuddle?
Ben Cuddle is going to.
Who the fuck are these people?
Cuticle? I don't know. Cuttlefish? Ben's going to score 6 goals again at least against Bigfoot and Kyle and
Gaffey's
Philip.
jerking off.
Yeah, I just like moving my hands.
Oh, shit.
But I think the Foot Clan, they just have way too much speed. They have way too much power on offense. You have Bill Riley, who's probably going to be, at least somewhat on his game, and that's just going to be too much for Bigfoot to handle. I just can't see Bigfoot pulling this one out.
Well, it's the foot fetish
Foot of the week.
The foot of the week. Who knows what it's going to be? So we have Pete R going Foot Clan, Cannonball Kirk going Foot Clan, John Fern Gully, Foes, guest 1, which is Gaffey going Fern Gully, and then Bigfoot. We have guest number 2, which is Pete Skidmore. And the Bob. The Bob is still holding on to Bigfoot's hopes. He thinks that this is going to be a good week for them. But yeah, he hasn't even seen the game. I was just like, are you serious, Bob?
Where is Bob, by the way?
He's
Dead.
dead.
He's dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dead.
He's dead, Bob.
He's dead, Bob.
Rest in peace.
So, Jer Bear, I've been ramping this up this entire night. It is time for your pick against Foot Clan and Bigfoot. Everyone, get ready for this. Wait,
On the edge of
who
my
did
seat.
you pick Foot Clan?
Yeah.
Let me just adjust this here.
Oh, he's grabbing the mic.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody strap in because it's fucking story time. Floor hockey at the gym is not a battle of feet, it's a battle of inches. My team is fully committed to Bigfoot. We've been going out late at night and attacking joggers. We're in one mind right now. We're one mind. We're one cohesive unit.
You're running away from the paparazzi too?
Every single one of us on social media has changed our pictures to obscure photos of us that you can't really tell if it's really us or not. We have doubters out there, obviously. If you look at the pics, does Bigfoot exist? Is it a real thing?
We call them the Trump supporters.
We assure you, we are real. And we will be there this week. As far as the Foot Clan goes, I keep hearing about this high-powered offense. Everybody's contributing, everybody's giving points. Is it daunting? Yes. Am I worried? No. Because I don't worry about anything. When you're Bigfoot and you're big and your feet are like size 17s, I mean, it's only us and Shane Humphreys know that feeling. who I guess we're playing against, so that kind of negates that point. I mean, in all seriousness, we're fucking hairy, and we smell bad, and we roll in dirt before our games, and
Imagine some of these guys rolling in dirt.
I think that we had just went out. I don't know why. I gotta believe in my team, just like I believe in Bigfoot. Everybody wants to. I don't know if you guys know this. I have a tattoo of Bigfoot, and I'm being serious. It's not a joke.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm a big fan. I was excited when I got drafted to this team because of my love for the Sasquatch, and he's out there, and we really need him in our corner this week. Sasquatch is our spirit animal.
So you're going Foot Clan?
Yeah, no.
All right, so that is the picks. We have 3 guys going to Bigfoot, and I think we have a new segment on the show, Story Time with Jeremy, because that was brilliant. Yeah, so that's 3 to Bigfoot. We have some games that are pretty big landslides. Yeah, the Gremlins, that's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have Foot Clan, 7. I mean, there's a lot of big landslides here. Same thing with the Zombies game. So who knows where it's going to play out? It's going to be a good week.
One last thing. Our resident cornerback of the Hockey League, Kyle Antilla, PSA, Chris Enright. Watch out there.
I think he needs to go after Ben Cuttlefish.
I heard that Kyle Antilla is putting you on cuffs this week.
Oh, wow.
That's what he said. He wanted me to relay that.
Putting you into the boards?
No, not into the board. He's going to hit him where it hurts, the stat sheet.
Well, that's great. All right, so those are the picks for the week. So let's get into a rebuttal. So this rebuttal is something that everyone's been waiting for. We've been talking about it since the first podcast back in 2016, right? Back in 2016.
Yeah. Way back.
So, Pete, you shot yourself in the leg.
No, I did not.
All right, so tell us why you didn't shoot yourself in the leg.
Because I didn't.
Okay.
I wasn't actually even holding a firearm at the time. I went to the range with a friend of mine. We were shooting my Mosin Nagant. It's a World War II era bolt-action rifle. And his very first shot with the rifle, there was a malfunction, and a small piece of brass got ejected from the gun into my leg. And
How deep?
And not deep
Are we
at all.
talking like deep?
No, we're talking like the stereotypical movie flesh wound kind of thing.
What was the
Like,
girth
it
of
literally was nothing.
What was the girth of the little thing that went in you?
You want me to drop trow and show you?
Does it make an axe wound?
No, I do have a scar. I can show you anytime in hockey. It's really just a couple inches above my shorts.
Does it bleed?
What about the
purple
scar?
red?
What about the scar? Well,
At what point did your friend suck the poison out?
and was it on the wound?
Negative goes right. None of that happened.
All right.
No, I just put a simple little piece of gauze on it, drove me to urgent care and got it taped up, stitched up.
Did you leave the bullet in there?
There was nothing in there. It was in and out within an inch.
Yeah, just a tip.
Just a tip. Just for a second.
All right, and I hear that you have a quick a gun safety announcement.
I do.
Yeah.
I was unaware. Did someone tell me I?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Off the top.
What is your 5-minute gun safety?
5 minutes?
announcement?
Holy shit.
No. Do you have a gun safety announcement?
No? Alright.
All right. Cool.
No, just don't whip it out unless you're prepared to use it.
Continue to be unsafe with your firearms.
You heard it right here on the Circle of Jerks podcast. So beautiful. Any other rebuttals?
Like to that, or just
Yeah,
in general?
yes. Can you rebuttal?
Actually, yes. I was on.
Rebuttal.
I was part of an investigative team that went out to the scene of the crime where we took the gun, this World War II weapon, and we tested it for fingerprints. And we were able to confirm that Pete was indeed
you know the
holding it.
combination of my gun safe?
And yes, we do. 69. And we also were able to identify the piece of brass, and there was also some lead in that brass as well, mixed in, we did some of that analysis that really well-funded police departments use, where they, like on the Discovery Channel, where they show you how they compare the little bullet markings.
This shit is longer than my stuff.
This is kind of sad.
Anyways, it was Pete. It was Pete without it.
That's how to close it out. So that's the rebuttal. Gaffy, did you have a rebuttal? No, I'm just kidding.
No rebuttal, but just, a couple things about.
Are you sure that you're not a citizen?
Exactly.
Or you are a citizen?
As some of you guys might have heard, I am leaving and moving away from Rochester, and I'm heading down to Baltimore for a new job.
Good riddance.
And, all I can say is that, hey, I definitely enjoyed my time with the league. Definitely, I don't think I'm going to find a group of guys like you guys. And
They have different hobbies, I hear.
they do have different hobbies out there. And it's going to be kind of sad to leave this league, because I was telling some of the guys yesterday that, I don't even come here for the hockey, I just come here for the camaraderie with everyone. And
The dudes.
Yeah. And,
And Amanda.
Yeah, and Amanda. Hockey is just secondary, and, I'm just going to miss this, and, it's going to be tough for me to not experience this every Wednesday, and that's really what I look forward to every week. So.
You have a podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
You will be missed. However, I think you should continue playing. I do have a buddy who used to live down in southern Pennsylvania, and he would drive up just to hang out for one night and then drive back.
Hey, you can
right
get a
as he
ride
was
with
hanging out.
freaking Paul.
So
Yeah, Paul can pick you up.
just keep signing up for the league and make the long drive up here every Wednesday.
I mean, it's about 6 to 8 hours, but yeah,
You
I'll
just
try.
have to stay awake for 48 hours.
I'll try.
It's doable.
I'll try.
Well, Gaffy, I haven't been in the league long, but you're definitely a staple of this league. We appreciate it. We love you on the podcast. You will be missed, but let's stop talking about you for now. Let's get to the question. So it's your 14th high school reunion. This is our 14th season here. So Jerk, I had a great idea to go after the superlatives of your high school reunion, and you got to pick some guys from our hockey league on who are these superlatives. I don't even care. I can just say words.
Yeah.
Work.
And they'll listen.
Yeah, I know.
It's worked for me 2 seasons already.
I would listen. Honestly, if it was just you talking this entire podcast, that's the reason you have like 3 or 4 fans. So it's pretty strong. All right, so the superlatives are most likely to become president, most likely to cure a disease,
Not spread.
not spread.
All right.
That would have been an easy pick there. And then biggest flirt. So you have most likely to become president, most likely to cure a disease, and then biggest flirt. I'll jump in here first because I haven't even thought about it or looked at it. Most likely to become president. I'm going my goaltender, Steve Schultz. Because anytime anyone has a rebuttal for him, he's got you right there. He's ready to go. He knows how good he is, and he will make sure that everyone knows that he is great. And he's going to make all of his way. I would vote for him. There's probably some cool shit that he would do. And he'd build us a new arena, which would be awesome. We would actually have curved boards. I'd be super excited about that. So Steve Schultz for president. He's going to be my vote on November 28th. Something like that.
June 10th?
June 10th? June 10th, yeah. So most likely to cure a disease. Man, that's a tough one, Peter. That's a really good question. You know, I'm going to go with Jesse. And the reason I'm going with Jesse is that guy runs around like a maniac. And he makes maybe one too many moves, and I feel like that's what you need to do in the scientific experiment room. Like, you need to do one thing too much, and you're gonna figure something out. You're gonna screw up. You're gonna figure something out, but eventually you're going to get that goal.
Yeah. Don't you need to give like 150% too?
Yeah, you have to give 150%, and I think Jesse will do that. So he's my pick for most likely to cure a disease. And biggest flirt. This may be a surprise for all you guys, but I'm gonna go with Chris Lally. I feel like that guy can flirt his face off. He's just like, he's the silent killer. You know? He's got this perfect snipe shot, but I feel like he'd walk around and just like, hey, you want to see the shot? Ready? And then he'd like bend over, show his little butt a little bit, and then boom, top shelf. So those are my picks for the high school 14th reunion. I'm going to throw it over to Gaffe. Gaffe, who are your picks? Oh man, he's upset that I went with him. You know, it's your last podcast, so.
Yeah, I'm going to say, let's see, most likely to be president. I think I'm going to go with Mike Bryant. Towards the end of yesterday, he was commenting about how we should have like a little mock election draft. And I feel like secretly he's the one that really wants to win this mock Y presidency thing that he was talking about. So Mike Bryant would be my most likely to be president. He just looks like a president, you know. Just you know, looks like one. Curing disease, that might be a hard one. Might go with the buddy who went to the hospital in urgent care with, you know, getting something in his knee. He might know a little bit about taking care of himself. So I'm gonna go with Pete Skidmore as the person to cure a disease.
Yeah.
And you know, the biggest flirt. I mean, I know it's not going to come as a surprise for Conco over here, but I'm going to say Joe Gant, just because of how shiny his hair is. And
A lot of protein in there.
a lot of protein in it. And, you know, I could see it from the stand, and it just shines every time he scores.
Beautiful. Well, Conco's really upset because you clearly chose his
Said
pick.
all three of his answers.
All three of his answers. So I'm actually going to throw it over to him so he can be really upset and have to pick something on the spot. Conco!
Oh man, you know, that changes it a little bit. For president, probably have to go with Joe Gant because he's the guy I can get behind.
Wow!
This guy has been planning that quote. All night.
All right, biggest flirt. No, wait, let's do biggest flirt.
This is really good podcast material.
Just Zach Davis, because I mean, those moves are just
For which?
for biggest flirt. And he can also cure disease while he's doing it. So. Let's see. Kyle would make a disease and then he would cure it.
Wow.
What?
That's
So I'm going with Kyle for
You would
the
make
disease.
a disease and then cure it?
Yeah.
So he's letting a goal in, but then he's going to score one?
Yeah.
Alright. That's a fair one. Alright, Pete, skateboard.
All right, for president, I'm going Brad Burr.
Whoa!
Brad Burr all the way. I am going to campaign hard for him and long.
Brad Burr apparently has a master's degree, so he's well qualified in my book.
Yeah, he's got a brain.
Yeah, he does.
I can't even read. So.
Let's see.
What is reading?
For cure disease, I've got Paul Paradine, because I believe he's just going to find that random
The
animal
fountain of youth.
in the wilderness
Yeah.
that is carrying some sort of something in its blood to cure all diseases or
Yeah,
some crap like that.
he works for the forestry with RG&E, I believe, or one of those companies. So
yes.
he would find like some kind of rare exotic plant and
He would be the guy. And then biggest flirt, I'm going with Austin.
He is young.
Yeah, he's all like, hey, I'm over here. Oh no, now I'm over here. Oh, but maybe I'm around this way. You never know which way this guy's going. It's kind of flirty and yeah.
Yeah,
grab me by the genitals.
It's a bit of a tease at times.
Austin. Oh man. All right. The man of the hour. Jerry Bear, who are your picks for president, cure disease, and biggest flirt?
Alright, so president, I'm gonna go John Chatterton. But he's gonna be like a Ulysses S. Grant style president, where he really just didn't want to fucking do it. But like, I mean, you won the Civil War. Here you go. You're the president, and he's gonna have like he's gonna go down as like one of the shittiest presidents in the world. You know, behind Bush still. But so that's my president pick, John S. Grant.
You didn't want to pick a man?
Maybe in a couple weeks. She's a little too rough around the edges. Like she's still fucking shoving people, and she would have threatened me if I was keeping stats, I feel, but.
Yeah, she threatened me.
Yeah.
She had an assist, and I said no, I didn't see it. And if you're the statistician, it goes. But then, like 3 other people were like, no, she got an assist. And then John told me she got an assist, and he's the president. So.
Yeah, he's President John. Cure a disease. I'm gonna go Steve Newberry.
Oh, good answer. He's gonna bake something.
His peanut butter balls in my mouth.
Oh my god.
So good.
Dude, he made a banana toffee pie.
It was,
oh my
it was
god.
amazing over the
He
summer
made something
dryer.
last season. I wanted to steal it so bad because I've only ever heard.
Jesus,
They're good.
I don't know.
Why did we get pizza? Why don't we just make him bake for us for
Seriously,
the
dude.
championship?
I'm excited to get his balls in my mouth.
Yeah. Balls in the mouth.
Balls in the mouth. Biggest flirt. That's where it's tough. Who am I gonna
Steve
go?
Newberry.
I'm gonna go.
Dick in the box.
Jesus Christ, guys.
Pizza box.
I'm gonna go Josh Bamer.
Josh.
Josh Bamer doesn't actually play in the league, but works the desk
Yeah.
every
He's part of
Wednesday.
He
He's got
designed the logos.
he's got everybody's numbers.
Signs the logos. I mean, everybody pays him. He's
Everyone pays him for his services.
the pizza girl comes in and she tries to compliment him, and he's so weird. He's just like, give me my pizza. Yeah. So Josh Bamer, biggest flirt.
Biggest flirt. Oh well, you have some great stuff. So that's the week 1 preview. Had some great answers to some questions. I for one, I know everyone here and everyone in the league is going to miss Gaffey. So big round of applause for Gaffey. Yeah, we'll miss you. I'm excited to not have to play you, hopefully. But we appreciate you being part of the league and being part of the podcast. Always a gentleman on this whatever this thing's called, the podcast. But that is it for the week 2 preview, guys. Make sure you're wearing white if you are the away teams. Anyone else have anything else to say?
Gianni sucks.
Is it Wednesday yet?